So much changed in the Big 12 in 2024. Of course, no longer the stalwarts of the conference. Oklahoma and Texas gone. And the newcomers, Utah, Colorado, Arizona State, we'll see how they will fare. But two of the constants, as most of the other schools go up and down like a roller coaster from year to year. We talked about Oklahoma State. We provided their schedule preview, and also this team, Kansas State under Chris Kleiman, continuing the tradition of tremendous, strong, fundamental football and a stable program that Bill Snyder built. Let's look at the schedule for 2024. It starts with UT Martin. The Skyhawks come to Manhattan. Then it's an interesting date on September 7th in New Orleans against Tulane. The Green Wave coming off another successful season at 11-3, but of course that was under Willie Fritz. John Sumrall, the new head coach at Tulane, the 43rd in school history. These two schools have gotten together twice, 1988 and just 2 seasons ago in 2022. And despite Kansas State eventually winning the Big 12 that year, they lost to Tulane at home. So this is the home-and-home series separated by 1 season, K-State at Tulane. Then the Wildcats get into conference play against the Wildcats of Arizona, 10-3 last season, coming in from the Pac-12. Zona leads the all-time series 5-1. The two teams last played in 1978. Brent Brennan is holding on to his players, including quarterback Noah Fafita. That was a key off-season acquisition of sorts in maintaining his roster as, of course, Jed Fish hightailed it to Washington. Kansas State, Arizona, key game in the Big 12 Conference early in the season, September 14th. Then Kansas State goes to BYU. Cougs coming off a 5-7 season. The all-time series stands at 4-4, and they did not play in BYU's first Big 12 season. They last played in the 1997 Cotton Bowl. Keaton Slovis coming in from USC and Pitt, 80 touchdowns total in his career at BYU. Then it's one of those games that is typically integral to the Big 12 championship race. Kansas State, Oklahoma State, and the Wildcats get this at home. They lost to the Cowboys last year. Oklahoma State leads the series 43-27. Alan Bowman's back at quarterback. Ollie Gordon for the Cowboys at running back is the nation's leading rusher. Then after a bye week, K-State goes to Colorado. Colorado leads this series again. This is a Big 12 rivalry from years gone by. 45-20 with 1 tie. So Colorado has dominated. The two teams have not played since 2010 when the Buffs fled for the Pac-12. Then K-State goes on the road against West Virginia. Mountaineers, the bounce-back season at 9-4, lead the all-time series 7-6. Garrett Greenback at quarterback for Neil Brown. Then a date against another 9-4 team from 2023, Kansas. Lance Leipold doing a fabulous job. Jalen Daniels back at quarterback. And Kansas State leads his all-time series at 65-51-5. And one of the great rivalries in college football, the Wildcats have won it 15 straight. And that's got to be the most difficult stretch of the season right there. Colorado on the road, West Virginia on the road, then Kansas. Then K-State goes to Houston. Willie Fritz, the new coach of the Cougars, who finished off at 4-8 under Dana Holgerson. And Kansas State just bludgeoned Houston last season 41-0. Then the late season bye week. Then the 3-game stretch to conclude it. Looks pretty favorable for Kansas State. Arizona State coming off a 3-9 campaign. Sun Devils lead the all-time series 5-1. These two teams did meet in the 2002 Holiday Bowl. Jaden Rashada could be the quarterback at Arizona State as a freshman. Cincinnati at 3-9 under Scott Satterfield in his first season. Bearcats lead the all-time series 4-2. The two schools have not gotten together since 1996, but of course, they are now conference foes. And then a long-standing Big 12 matchup. Kansas State at Iowa State. We remember the game from last fall with snow all over the place, blizzard conditions. Iowa State won it in the snow in a high-scoring game, and they lead the all-time series 53-50 with 4 ties. Kansas State misses one really difficult opponent. That would be Utah. Some other somewhat difficult opponents, depending on how the season shakes out. And, of course, we know it's the Big 12, so consider this. 8 of the 14 teams from last year, 8 of the 14 had a 3-game swing in their win-loss numbers from the season before. So there's a lot of change in this conference from year to year. Just about anyone can beat anyone. So when we say difficult games, we're playing the percentages. So for Kansas State, that's Utah, not on the schedule. Also, UCF, TCU, Texas Tech, and Baylor will not play Kansas State in 2024. As we have stated many times, this is a conference without a dominant elite program. Utah, Oklahoma State, Kansas State, they are the schools to look out for on a regular basis. We'll see if anybody else pops up there, but you got to think the Wildcats are going to be in the thick of things in the new Big 12 in 2024. Your comments, your questions down below. Continue to track, binge watch these Big 12 schedule previews. Also, the ACC released a couple weeks ago. Check those out as well. Right here at the Voice of College Football.